Hey everybody, it's Stacie Duffy here, your Denver Metro real estate resource. And yes, we've seen the softening and I am so excited, and it's finally reflecting in the numbers. So I'll post a link up above and down below to my market update videos. I've been doing those a lot more recently because it seems that y'all like those and the market is changing and we're right in that seasonal shift. It's just earlier this year than normal. So what I've been saying and what everyone's been saying is finally reflecting in the numbers. Okay, so let's talk about the numbers a little bit, which I usually don't get into the weeds too much, but for people moving here that are coming from different metros, it's really helpful to relate to what those average price points are so they have an understanding of what they're walking into when they're moving to the area and looking to buy something, okay? So average single family home price point for the Denver Metro is up to $791,000. And it's crazy. It's just nuts. $791,835 to be exact for average single family home price point for Denver Metro. So now median price point is $660,000. So not that that's cheap by any means, but that just tells you if you're looking for a single family home, you want a yard, you want a fence, you don't want to share any walls. I mean, you're going to be looking $450 to $650 for entry price point for that. You're going to find a few that are less, but not much. I saw one come across this morning for $397, but it backs to the busy road. It's got mauve carpet and dark curtains and hasn't been touched since the 70s. So that gives you an idea as far as what to expect for the price point and the condition. Your nicer homes, your little bit larger homes are definitely going to be in that $600,000, $700,000 range, okay? Your high-end luxury homes, there's a lot. Our hottest part of the market right now, I'd have to check my data bands. I want to say it's like 1.5 as far as the most aggressive seller section of the market, where that still has a lot of competition and a lot of bidding. So we'll get into that in a minute. And what's causing that. For condos and townhomes, if you're looking to move here or purchase a condo and townhome, those are going to run you between $350 to $450. Okay, so are depending for 2 to 3 bedroom or something a little bit nicer. You can still get 1 and 2 bedroom condos for less than that, but our average attached, which is going to be condo and townhome price point at the end of April, was $449. Our median is $395. So that tells you kind of what to expect and what your money's going to get you. Okay. Now, the numbers are reflecting the inventory changes, right? Which is nice. And the little less competition. So our days on market is going from 3, 4, 5, depending on which side of the segment of the market you're looking at, up to 7, 10, 12, okay? So that's helpful. That's a little bit of softening. Still a strong seller's market. Strong seller's market. I'm talking you're selling your 3/4 or $791,000 house in 7 days instead of 3 days, okay? So that gives you an idea that it is still a strong seller's market. There is still a lot of demand. All of those millennials are the largest population segment in our market right now, and they are looking to buy, and there is not enough houses. So supply and demand is still going to drive the situation for a bit. The rate increases has definitely dropped the price range that people are looking based on the payment they're trying to stay within. So those that were looking at $600 before may be looking at $500 now, but they still want to buy something because they realize I'm still renting. And if I don't want to rent and I want to buy, then here's the situation I'm looking at, right? So a lot of people are not going to wait for this, potential market crash that everyone does clickbait on or whatever. For that to make sense, I mean, annual appreciation April through April was still 17.5%. Last month it was 20% year over year. So you're going to, even if you wait, you just go back to the price was a year and a half ago. So anyway, I'm not going to get into all that, but it just gives you an idea. Our inventory is also up 29% versus a year ago. Okay, so April this time last year, we had 29% less homes available. Inventory's been tight for a while, guys. So that in combination with the interest rates going up in April, so more houses available, the interest rates going up, which takes some buyer out of the market, starts to bring that supply and demand picture closer. We still have a big gap as far as the people that need to buy homes versus the people that have homes available to sell. But it brings it from here to here, okay? So if you've been trying to buy, that gives you an idea. As I mentioned in the last video, I really think, and I had a conversation with one today, a buyer that reached out and said, hey, I think it's time to buy. I don't have a ton of cash available, but my credit score is over 800K and we both make a lot of money, and right now we rent for over $4,000 a month between the two of them. So for them, that's that perfect type of buyer that has some leverage in the situation. They want to buy a nicer home in that 700-800K range. That's where, we have some more inventory available, and that's our average price point. They can afford the monthly payment, and they can absorb that rate increase because they have the good credit and they have the income to support it, but they don't have a ton of cash. But right now, if you're not having to compete as much, the cash is not as big of a deal, okay? So we can get in with a little bit lower down payment, lower down payment and a higher monthly payment, okay? So that's what I'm saying is I think it's a really good time for those buyers right now compared to what it's been the last few years, okay? Last couple of years. So anyway, all that to say that all this changing and shifting that we've been talking about, you're seeing it. And I'm starting to see the articles come out more of, hey, things are softening, things are changing. And these numbers are definitely proving that that's the case. That's what we've been preaching. Now we have the data to support that. And honestly, I'm expecting that to be the trend over the next couple of months. I think those prices are going to level out. Guys, this happens every June, July, August, okay? I do so much buyer business in July, August, September, October because of this, and because I will advise my buyers if they are tight on cash and if they can't compete in these aggressive market situations, that's been to their advantage. That has worked to help them. So same thing. It's just we're shifting it up a couple months earlier this year, okay? About a month and a half earlier than we normally do. So those prices are going to level. The nice homes, because supply and demand is still not equal, there's a ton of demand relative to the available homes, so not much supply. So sellers, you're still in a good position to sell. Position your home properly, have it well marketed, reach out to me if you're looking to sell in the Denver Metro. I always do a full marketing package on all my properties. I do 3D tours, I do floor plans as long as you're okay with those being posted online. I do professional photos, and I max out how many photos I can put in the MLS. Unless it's a one-bedroom condo, because I've done that before, and 40 pictures of a one-bedroom condo is a little bit much, but you still want to present your property well. So present your property well. If you're selling in Denver, reach out to me. I'd love the opportunity for an interview. And that will put you in the best position and price it accordingly, knowing that our prices are going to stay pretty flat, and then the sellers are going to realize that, hey, there's more homes available, 30% more homes. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not a lot to close the gap, but it makes a difference. It makes a difference in how quick the property sells. It makes a difference in the bidding situation. You can't overprice your home, okay? I mean, you can if you don't really need to sell it, and some people are in that situation. That's a different conversation. So anyway, for those sellers, that's what we need to be looking at. And those prices are going to stay pretty flat for a while for the summer. I don't expect them to come back up until, I would say, October at the soonest to start to creep up. I don't know if they will or not. I don't expect a lot of appreciation the second half of the year until the rates soften a bit. And I think those are supposed to go up again June, July, August, depending on what the Fed wants to do. And that's going to soften it a little bit more, okay? When I say soften it, I don't mean drop all the prices. I mean it's going to keep them from climbing, and it's going to keep the bidding wars low, if any, okay? So buyers, if you've been beat out and burnt and just absolutely defeated with everything going on the last couple of years, you have good credit, you have good income, you're okay paying more on that monthly payment, or potentially looking at an ARM, okay? A 5, 7, 10-year ARM or something to get you to when these rates drop back down and settle out and the economy changes a little bit and flux. To get you to that point where the refi makes sense, definitely consider that. If you haven't had the cash to compete or cover appraisal gaps or have a 20% down payment plus $100,000 for appraisal gap, if you haven't had that kind of cash but you still want to buy something, now is your opportunity to go buy with less competition and secure a property. And now that there's a little bit more inventory sitting around, it's not, or, instead of looking at 2 houses and 100 people are fighting over them, now there's 20 houses and maybe 50 people are fighting over them, okay? Still aggressive, still a seller's market, but it changes the dynamic completely, okay? So definitely, if you're looking to buy in the Denver Metro, reach out to me. I would be happy to help. I have a few buyers right now that I'm really excited about this market condition, adjusting a little bit, because I think it's definitely going to work to their advantage. And why agents don't love absolutely crazy asinine markets, I will get into in another video. So I'm excited for the adjusting, for the shift, for at least a little bit of the closing of the gap in the supply and demand situation, so it's not just absolutely batshit crazy like it has been, excuse my language. So that's what's going on. If you need an agent in another area, feel free to reach out to me. I have an amazing network of agents that I talk to on a regular basis. I want to make sure that I can set you up with someone that's a good fit for you. So reach out to me directly. My contact information is on my website. Link for that is down below. And tell me a little bit about your situation, and I'll make a couple of recommendations so you have some different agents to interview in the area. I want you to have the option to interview people that would be a good fit. So anyway, thanks so much for the time. Best of luck out there, and y'all have a great day.